I'm enjoying your company right now, Paul. I mean, this
402.
I mean,
that's a fact.
It's okay. I mean, you can complain all you want about, having to be here right now. And
I find the scariest, worst case scenario, which is probably going to come to pass. It's like Ragnarok.
oh my God, you're not going to experience Ragnarok. Welcome to PCP Podcast. I'm Patrick, and this is
Paul.
And this is the first episode ever.
Oh God, please.
Ever. It's called Patrick and Cerebral Palsy because Paul has cerebral palsy.
I have cerebral palsy.
He was not named Paul because of cerebral palsy. Just FYI, something good to know. I mean, if you want to explain cerebral palsy, Paul, I mean, you can go ahead and do that.
Some muscular disease that affects your ability to...
It's a muscular disease? Sure.
Well, it affects everything.
Give us some pizzazz, Paul. This is your life. Fucking pizzazz it up. Pizzazz it up, dude. Pizzazz
I don't have much pizzazz.
Pizzazz it up, Paul. Pizzazz it up.
I don't have much pizzazz.
So Paul had 2 strokes when he was born, 2. And we were both born at the same time. I was sucking on that uterus a little hard, and is that what it is? Placenta. I was taking all the nutrients out of the placenta, and I think that affected it. Then Paul came out. He had 2 strokes. He's 2-stroke gang.
Please just say none of what you just said. Please just take
2-stroke gangs. We're rolling on here, bud. We're rolling on here.
Is this recording again?
Yeah, well, it's recording.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
Yeah, we've been
that
recording for a minute.
That was gross. You were talking about placenta and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I've been recording for a minute. Just is what it is. But yeah, first episode. We're just trying to do some stuff here. We're thinking about doing a Friday released episode of just a football podcast in general because Paul is one of the most knowledgeable people I know pertaining to NFL football, not soccer. We don't know anything about soccer because we live in America,
But we have no like quarrel with people who like soccer.
Yeah,
I can.
It has to be the largest sport for a reason, like in the world.
It's very entertaining. I can imagine like when we're able to, come together again. And
what's crazy?
That would be utterly insane. Like getting drunk and like being like shirtless and like,
yeah, their stadiums are huge. It's ridiculous. But how many actual
leather on you and you're like representing like Liverpool and you're like, oh, I love Liverpool, and like
I was thinking like South American countries because they get crazy down there, like Brazil.
England's crazy.
Woo!
England's
crazy.
Straight up crazy.
But what I was saying is there's a lot of soccer players actually get heart attacks mid-game and just die in the field. Do you know that? Do you know how crazy that is?
A lot of.
I mean, there's a compilation I saw when I was probably in high school. I was like, oh yeah, I'm never gonna play soccer because I'm too fat for that. I'm like, you look at these people are fit, they train every day, and boom, they just die of a heart attack on the field.
Yeah, well, like jogging for like 4 hours.
Yeah,
straight up, just.
I mean, sprinting. Yeah. Sometimes it's constant.
They go from jogging to sprinting and then you hear the roar of the crowd. Like,
yeah,
and then the goal is.
I want to say it's
people like freaking out.
I want to say it's equivalent to the modern day Coliseum,
Yeah.
Or not the modern. I don't know how to phrase that, but you know what I mean. But yeah, so we're thinking about a football release podcast, based on Paul's knowledge and my lack of knowledge. I'm gonna talk like I know stuff because that's how we do it in America. And nowadays, we talk like we know everything.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this, because if you're not making money in America, then what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
that's from The Departed. You guys should all watch The Departed.
Yeah.
Anyone who watches this and is like, oh, I've never seen The Departed. I think it's on that. No. Right now it's on HBO. But
is that
at the
HBO?
time of watching this, I can't definitively say where it is.
Yeah, I thought it was on Netflix the last time I watched.
It was on Netflix. It went off Netflix and is now on HBO.
That's unfortunate. This is such a good movie. Scorsese is such a phenomenal director. Yeah. I was just thinking about the other day.
Going off on a tangent, like we were talking about cerebral palsy, and then we somehow got.
Well, I mean, do you want to talk about cerebral palsy? We can talk a little bit more about it.
Explain it. Like I don't want to be like, oh, well.
Paul's got a pimp limp. He walks around.
Walk around with a limp.
He's not. You're not as bad as some. Like
no. There are people who are wheelchair bound and unable to speak, and it's quite frightening. I've told my family has concluded that it could be infinitely worse.
Yeah, it could be infinitely worse. But you know, it is what it is. We're twins. If you can tell, you know, obviously Paul's a sexier twin here. You know, look at that guy, scruffy as all hell. No, we were joking earlier. We were like, God damn it, I look so goddamn sexy. Look at this side view of me. You know, like
Yeah,
the
he's
beard,
got
the
this-
chiseled cut line. Paul, you gotta trim your shit up, dog.
Yeah.
You gotta be looking fancy as fuck. I'm looking scruffy right now, Paul. I'm still looking better than your scruffiness. But yeah, we're twins. We're twins. You
I'm
know,
rolling on like 3 hours of sleep right now. This guy's like, get up at noon. and
I'm
do
rolling on
this,
like
and
fucking 5 hours. So I mean, calm down.
I have
there,
a
bud.
weird sleep schedule. It's quite awful.
I mean, it is terrible. So this guy's a night owl. I have to be a morning like morning bird. Yeah, that's the saying. Because my job. Yeah, it's not fun. I'd rather be a night owl like Paul. I mean, it's just kind of life live. I always.
It's so much more peaceful at night. There are no people outside.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with all the noise, all the bullshit.
Like you
know.
can sit outside and it's beautiful.
Oh, I
It's beautiful.
remember a night I was up. I chain smoked a pack of cigarettes, watched Gears of War tournament, and was drinking coffee, and it was one of the best nights ever. Because I watched the sunrise, you know. So from like 12 o'clock at night until like fucking like 9 in the morning, I'm just chilling out on the porch, just smoking cigarettes, just chain smoking. Yeah, if there was anything I could do and not have ramifications, it would be fucking smoking. I love smoking. Like Paul, you know, you don't understand how
You know
the
how
feeling.
many fucking cigarettes they smoke on Peaky Blinders and like they're herb cigarettes, so they apparently taste awful, so they don't like affect the actors. But apparently, Cillian Murphy, the lead character, smokes on average about 12,000 cigarettes, 1,200 cigarettes per episode. Like
1,200.
yeah, 1,200.
100.
100.
I mean, I guess it takes a while to cast, but yeah. I mean, if you're not unfamiliar with Peaky Blinders, it's a show based in the early 1900s.
Well,
Like
starts
19
in 1919,
Yeah.
and right after the First World War, and it's utterly brilliant. It's available on BBC, also Netflix.
It's
But
a nice show.
it's,
It does have that familiarity with Boardwalk Empire, and they're also smoking
really
a lot
does
of
take
cigarettes.
a lot from crime movies.
I think it's a less.
And I can kind of relate
Lesser.
to Thomas Shelby because he, in the show, is kind of losing his mind. And in some regards, for the last like 6 months, I feel like I've been losing
Yeah,
my mind.
we're watching the descent of Paul Smith. You know,
it's quite
into
scary.
schizophrenia, we believe.
Yeah. It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible. And it's so scary.
Oh, well, Paul, you know, we'll just see. We just have to wait and see. You
I have
know,
a physical disease
we
and mental
we were
disease.
just joking that you know, we're gonna record these every week, and we're gonna watch the descent of Paul Smith.
It's
you
gonna
know,
be good.
into chaos.
I don't
you
know
know?
walk in here essentially. But
Paul's gonna have his dick out, fucking
Yeah.
throw AK-47 on the table,
I
be like, let's
don't-
record this bitch, and I'll be like, what the fuck, Paul? And Paul's gonna be like, I'm in the gang now, motherfucker. I'm the leader. These motherfuckers. He's gonna be like, I'm
I
a
don't think I'll
crip.
ever be in a gang.
You know, Paul, you never know with the schizophrenia hit you.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a make believe gang. You're like, the voices are talking to me.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah. He's insane. But yeah, I mean, generally, I think we're gonna have. I think we're shooting for two podcasts a week. When it comes to football season, you know, and then you know, drop off kind of around the end of football season. I mean, kind of have a few here and there during the off season, just for, you know, the combine, the
Yeah.
draft, and then trade deadline.
Yeah, it's super weird. There's no combine this year. It's super fucking weird. Although the NCAA tournament is back, and that's beautiful. I've been getting into more basketball recently because, like, there's no.
It does get hype. It really does.
It's actually pretty crazy.
I'm not a huge fan of watching basketball, you know. Like it's really fun to play, but it's not that entertaining to watch. But if I was gonna watch basketball, it'd be college basketball, because I mean,
Yeah,
professionals,
crazy.
they're just a bunch of drama queens, you know. You have LeBron James like, oh my god, and then he has his fake hair on and shit like that, and you're like, what the fuck, LeBron? What the fuck are you doing with the fake ass hair? Fuck, he can be
Dude,
bald,
he can
dude.
do whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
he
you're.
can do whatever the fuck.
I
he
get that.
wants.
He's a billionaire, but
Okay?
you know,
He can do
like
whatever
you can
the fuck he
rock the
wants.
baldness. I mean, you have Jeff Bezos out there. He's fucking bald as
Yes,
shit.
but he's
He could
the
get hair
richest man in
transplants.
the world. He
Listen,
is,
yeah. I'm just saying, you can get hair transplants if you're Jeff Bezos, Paul. Right? Like you can get hair transplants.
he can. He chooses not to. He chooses to say, "I'm an apex predator."
That's what I'm saying. LeBron needs to fucking do that. He needs to stop being a little bitch.
Listen,
Shave his
listen.
head. He's black, dude.
Some
Black people
people's
can
some people's vanity is somewhat. It's not like.
stop. No. LeBron is black. Black people can rock a
Listen,
bald head because
he's
they're
al-
fucking cool as shit, dude. White guys, we look like
He's
fucking
allowed
predators.
he's allowed to not be like losing your hair. Obviously, we both lost our hair. It's like your dick is receding into yourself. It's quite awful.
Yeah. Oh.
And I can understand LeBron's need to.
No. He's a billionaire, Paul. He's fine. He's cool as
Oh,
shit.
he's fine.
He has
fine.
like a Nike line, dog. Like, what the hell, dude?
But
You can be bald. Just live your
he
life.
just doesn't want. It is his choice not to be bald. So he this is not 1970s. It's not 1960. You don't have to accept that shit. He doesn't have to accept that shit. How dare you say accept that shit, LeBron? When he has all the money in the world not to accept that shit.
Yeah, but he's wearing like toupees, glued to his head.
Man.
And he's sweating them off during games. You're like, dude,
I
what
feel
are
like
you
we need to
doing?
move on. LeBron James is awesome.
No, I'm not. Dude, I don't hate on LeBron James or anything. I mean,
I realize you're not
That's
hating on
insane.
LeBron James. I'm saying that we are going off on tangent after tangent after there's like no order to this whatsoever. It's
there's
like,
never order to a podcast, Paul. Paul, have you listened to a fucking podcast?
no, I've never listened to
You
a
know
podcast.
what, Paul? There's no order to anything. If you want to have an order, go to CNBC and go suck their dicks. I don't know. I said CNBC, but any like basic like thing. No order, Paul. There's no order to
Do you
anything.
mean like MSNBC?
You know what, Paul? I don't know what shit is about fuck. I don't care anymore. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck, Paul. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, so let's go back to this linear line we're talking because that's what Paul wants to do. So yeah, we're thinking about doing 2. Just keep on rolling. But we're thinking about 2 podcasts a week. Yeah, Paul's vast football knowledge. I mean vast. Listen. We're not gonna get into it right now because I know not a lot of people are sports fans. But I want to kind of like separate that because.
We don't want to throw sports at you and be like, we're a sports podcast. No.
Yeah, I mean we want to have a sports episodes. So I mean technically it would be a semi-sports podcast.
I think
but
it would still be enjoyable, like even if you didn't know what the fuck, like
Yeah.
the league. Like if you guys have ever watched the league,
it's a very entertaining show.
Yes.
Very entertaining show.
and
And
you don't have to know
you don't know,
thing about
you
football.
don't know jack shit about football, and you can watch that and you can
It's
still
probably
fucking laugh.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I don't know. Really don't know. But yeah, I kind of want to trend more in the 2 podcast direction. I mean that's just it.
Yeah,
it's
we
just-
didn't really discuss this prior. He just kind
Yeah.
of threw this at me.
Well, I mean, when you go to bed, 3 hours before you're supposed to wake up and shoot this shit. I mean,
Yeah, well, to be fair, I was up until 11. I could barely walk. Getting in here was the worst thing as ever.
yeah,
happened.
it's kind of crazy. So when Paul works, I can pick him up from work, and each day after it just gets progressively worse. His crippleism, he's a crip. He's da. No gang affiliation here. No gang affiliation. But yeah, so it gets progressively worse, and by Friday he is just. I mean, he's barely moving. He's like a fucking slug
God,
pace.
I feel the game's scary.
You got the little. Are you saying you got a little penis, Paul? I don't understand what's going on here. But.
That's the little dicky, but it's also the Crips.
Oh.
Yeah.
But that's a. Is that?
Yeah,
I don't know if that was.
demonetized.
Yeah.
We need a set demonetized.
Oh yeah, I mean
Okay.
we'd already get
I'm so-
demonetized for YouTube, but I mean it's not like we're gonna get 200 billion views unless this does get 200 billion views, and then Paul, fuck you, you piece of shit. I mean you guys demonetized, you fucking asshole.
Freak out.
But yeah, I mean, I was on I just see a bunch of shit nowadays where it's like filters, Photoshop, all that jazz. No one, I mean, okay, there are some people out there that are genuinely themselves, but I mean, this infuriated me the other day so much. I mean, you just look at these people there. Listen, I mean, no one's fucking perfect or anything. No, and not everyone's beautiful, but I think everyone generally has some beauty within them. But like, to fucking rock a filter 24/7 when you're doing anything, you're like, let's stop that. I think we should ban filters. I think we should ban Photoshop. It's never gonna happen. I understand that, but you know, like, there's just some bullshit about that. I'm like, oh.
This sounds like a real first world problem.
I get that, I know, but I mean, it's like the invention. It's just we have a problem with like social media nowadays. You know, it's like. I mean,
influencers are a problem.
Have you seen like anything Instagram reality type
no,
stuff?
I avoid the internet like
At all costs.
Like,
Okay, so I can explain it to you. So they take two pictures of the same person, and you know someone will be like, oh, this is their tagged photo. So this photo they didn't take themselves, okay, and then a photo they photoshopped or filtered themselves where they look extremely attractive compared to where they look like a dope, like a normal person, you know.
Yeah.
Like we look like normal people right now, I think, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of, you know, we have big noses and shit like that, you know.
Yeah.
But like, imagine just putting filters on us
I can
and be
smell
like
everything.
But I mean, so these people are trying to pass themselves off as very attractive people when they're really not that attractive. And I'm really not trying to shame anyone, but like, you know, it's just kind of fucked up when you're like, hey, this is what I look like, and it doesn't look anything like yourself. And you're like, okay, I mean, there's a lot of body dysmorphia going on, shit like that. But it's setting a poor precedent for kids. I mean, like,
yeah, the younger generation, like, this is what you have to look like.
They're fucked. They're so fucked.
I mean, beautiful.
I feel so bad for them. Like, we've fucked this up. Fucked this up hardcore.
Yeah.
But it's kind of sad, dude.
Oh no.
I mean, even thinking about the world in general, we kind of fucked up most shit. I mean, do you see what's going on with China right now? I mean, it's been happening for a while, but they're pretty much the Nazis 2.0.
Yeah, well,
they have Muslim concentration camps. I forgot what the actual sect is of religion. I don't know. Yeah. And I'm not saying 100% confirmed, but I mean, there's been videos leaked out of like these concentration camps of these people. You know, they're literally like, bone skinny, and it's some messed up stuff. And you know, is that what most countries lead to? You know, 'cause they get their rights taken away, and you know, government control.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's insane.
That's my fear with guns being taken away. Is that.
And listen, this is coming from Paul's the most liberal motherfucker you can meet.
I would vote for Elizabeth Warren in a heartbeat. I absolutely love that lady.
Yeah, I love Bernie Sanders, but I mean, you know, I
was
think
so sad that I couldn't vote for her in the primary. Well, I could, but she had already dropped out, and it was really sad. We're from Michigan, by the way.
Oh, I mean, you know, it's...
Yeah, we're from Michigan.
We
should have said, see, this is why a linear structure...
You know what, Paul? I think generally, you know, like, when you listen to a podcast, Paul, let me explain to the podcast... Let me listen to podcast listeners, to a non-podcast listener, how fucking podcasts... Generally, you pick up stuff after podcasts, you know? Like... You don't listen to, like, a lot of times you don't start a podcast on the first episode. There are some times you do, but most of the times you're picking up on, like, the 400th episode. And you're like, oh. And then you start to get little tidbits of information. And then you go backward, and you're like, oh. And then you pick up information, and you're like, oh, I generally know more. It's like meeting someone, you know? You're not going to know them, generally, and you're not going to be like, okay, tell me everything about you right now. You know, you're like generally you pick up stuff, you know, and then you're like, oh, hey, this is this is that, this is that.
I listen to a lot of music. I like music.
Music is nice, but I need brain stimulation. You know, I need something like I can't just sit at a desk and a computer 8 hours a day.
See, I think I'm on the autism scale, which is pretty nice.
Not on the autism scale.
I definitely think I am. I enjoy repetition quite a bit. I'm very good at Madden. I don't like to brag. I feel like that's like. Oh, humble brag, Paul. Like, no, I'm pretty good at Madden.
I guarantee Paul will get whooped in Madden by some people.
Yeah,
like, you definitely get whooped. Definitely. So, like, you're talking mad shit. There's some mad fucking Madden players out there right now, Paul.
Although, I did destroy Austin.
Yeah, but, I mean, don't you have problems with Brian sometimes?
I mean,
no, not really. Oh, okay. No. Whatever you say.
I went Madden, I think it was Madden 17. I was like 8-0 against everyone that I played.
Ain't shit. You have a small test group, dog.
Yeah,
Do you remember that Madden clip of this guy? It's like a tournament, and this guy fucking flips out. Like, you're cheating. Oh my god, the controls are messed up, and he's like crying, like boo-hooing like a baby, and you're like, dude, come on, have some dignity, man. This is getting streamed. You're like, what are you doing? And the other guy is like, he feels so uncomfortable just beating the shit out of him. He's like, I'm just fucking wrecking you right now. And like, good game. He's like, this bullshit, man. This bullshit. Paul would definitely be that. This is bullshit, man.
No, I would not be like that.
He would.
Listen, I'd like to consider.
It was Madden 08.
I'd like to consider. Okay.
Yeah. So listen. Okay. No.
I was like,
can I say my point? Can I say my point? Thank you. Listen. So, Paul used to play Madden like all the time, you know, and he still does majority of the time. But we'd verse each other.
I boycotted this year because EA Sports.
Yeah, fuck EA Sports, pieces of shit. But so he'd play Madden, and I think it wasn't Madden 08. Or 09. It was one of the Maddens when we were younger, and Paul versed me, and I would just throw the same. I'd play the same play and throw a Hail Mary every single time and get a touchdown every single play, and I have never seen someone more pissed off in my life. Paul was livid, but this is like 13-year-old Paul. He's like, I need a. Yeah, Patrick. I can't imitate 13-year-old Paul, but yeah, I'd shit on Paul, and I wouldn't play Madden myself.
Also, 13-year-old Paul did. He beat Call of Duty Modern Warfare on veteran difficulty. That's what 13-year-old Paul did.
Yeah, it took you like 6 months.
No, it took me like 2 months. But I beat it. Okay, and now fighting in War Room, that is the most difficult fucking. I've never been more infuriated in my life. I've never been more infuriated in my life. You're literally moving like an inch to find the enemy, to shoot them, to get the drop on them where you can see them and they can't see you. And that took me at least 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks of my life. And I got to the point where I was like sweating profusely because I was so intensely into it, and also a really fat kid. Like I am now, except, a kid version.
Yeah, it's like a little chunkier, like smaller, chunkier,
And it was quite awful and awesome. And when I beat it, it was like my dick grew about 16 inches.
But in actuality, it shrunk about 2.
Yeah. More than likely.
Small dick gang.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, you can't hit me with the unenthusiastic. Yeah, you have to be like, fucking yeah, own that shit, Paul. Like whip your tiny dick out on the table and be like, it doesn't thud. It's just a little. I don't know, but yeah, I never had the patience like that. I never had the patience. Once a game is done, I can just beat it normal. I'm just over it. Yeah, maybe I'll go play back some old Call of Duties or something, but I'm not gonna play a game twice, just on the hardest difficulty. I mean, I understand. I've been watching Play Games Fast or something. It was like a conference back in like 2015 where people would beat games in record times. Yeah. There are certain rules.
I don't know how anyone beats Crash Bandicoot. How anyone has the patience for Crash Bandicoot.
It's crazy how, like, I want to know the heart rates of professional, like, first person shooter players.
It probably fluctuates between like 110 and 120.
Because
somewhere around.
I want to say it's even higher. So moments like I'll play video games here and there, and I'll have moments where I do some fucking crazy shit. Like, I'll get like a triple kill or some shit. But my heart's beating on my chest afterwards, and I'm like, oh, this is like they're experiencing this like 24/7. Or like
that Adderall though.
Yeah, they might take the Adderall. Is that? Do you think that's gonna be a performance enhancing supplement in the sport of esports?
I don't see them like. I mean, I think there is a lot of money in like Dota 2 and League of Legends tournaments where you can make like a good.
It's so ridiculous.
$2 million.
Bitcoin just hit $60,000 per coin.
Oh yeah, Patrick made some micro investments.
Listen. I invested in GameStop. I'm helping us shoot to the moon, baby. Shoot to the fucking moon. Shoot to the fucking moon, baby.
And he's gonna lose $50.
$50 to the fucking moon, baby. Paul, this is $50 is fucking nothing. It's not even one share, Paul. It's fucking but I mean, people dumped money. I mean, they dumped a fuck ton of money in the GameStop.
I feel like that trend is trending now.
I mean, we're getting some people are getting their stimulus checks and they're shooting it to the fucking moon, baby. I mean, fuck. It's kind of one of the greatest things that happened in the last, how many years. It's kind of fucking over billionaires. Oh, you don't know what you're doing. Oh, you're fucking up the stock market. No, you're fucking up the stock market for fucking rich people who are just making money off their money. Like, there's a certain type of rich that's just like, why do you need that much money? Yeah. And they're like, oh, just have private planes, like multiple private planes within one family. You're like, why don't you have the same plane? Gotta do some shit. It's crazy how much money's out there.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's pretty nice giving people back their power. But I mean, you were talking about the Second Amendment. I mean, I think there's a lot more people that actually support the Second Amendment than previous, more liberals, I would say, because they kind of understand the need for them. Like,
you see like people lining up in gun stores and like people who are wearing beanies and like probably smoke a shit ton of weed. Like, oh, let's go get a gun because we desperately need. I'm so afraid of a military state. I'm so afraid of like a Nazi-occupied America that it's just.
Yeah,
like, if you've ever seen V for Vendetta, like that is what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, and
that military state.
And the reason why it happens, I mean, most
you just know he's inadequate in so many ways, and no one says shit to him. No one's like, "Oh, you're inadequate in so many ways." Like Hitler was a meth head, and no one was like, "Hitler, you're a meth head."
Him on opiate or him on meth, he's like tweaking back and forth. Do you see that video? For him just tweaking, he's like, "Oh, he's giving the shakes because he's hyped up, but he's sitting down."
It's gonna be like Hitler. You have a problem because then
you die.
Yeah, take him in the background and just kill him. Like that's Hitler.
But I mean,
quite frightening.
There definitely is a problem with guns or with people, people getting guns. The fact of the matter is,
I don't want to be around guns. I don't want to be around guns. With the way I've been feeling, I don't want to be around guns. I know that.
Yeah,
and I stay away from guns. But like, I think there's a need within this country to have guns.
Yeah, a certain percentage of the population, and I mean, just mental health evaluations. I mean, there's a lot of things that can kind of curve the whole shootings, these mass shootings. You know, I mean, it's really it's crazy. I can't imagine being in a situation like that. It's troubling, but like school shootings. You think about it, like what would help curve that? Having a fucking Rambo in the school. So Joey Diaz, Paul, he's like, you gotta get fucking Rambo in the fucking schools. You gotta get Rambo in the fucking schools. Yeah, I can't do Joey Diaz well, but he, I mean, his whole plan was like, okay, who's gonna walk into a school with a guy who's fucking well trained? I mean, you get like a fucking Navy SEAL-esque type of person.
Yeah, I mean, we had a sheriff.
Yeah, sheriff deputy. I forgot what they saw when in the school, but yeah, he's a sheriff deputy. He actually passed away, which is quite sad. Yeah, some kid. He was like
narcissistic.
Yeah, he was a kid. Yeah, he was young. I'm not. He's 20 years old.
Yeah, and he's after he commits this awful act on this person.
I don't remember exactly.
God, I'm the.
He was on drugs. He had mental health issues, and he ended up running him over. But he doesn't. At that point, he didn't value life. So why, if he doesn't even value his own life, why would he value anyone else's? Yeah. It's mental health. And it's very sad that he. I mean, whole situation that happened with the. If I don't know the whole story or remember really.
Yeah, nor do I. I just.
But yeah, I mean, he was there. It's but you know.
And Orange had the festival. I don't know.
Yeah, most high schools have an officer like that, but like you have the Florida school. I cannot remember the name of it.
Oh gosh.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know, but there was an officer out there, and he did not do his job.
Yeah.
And I mean, like you can kind of understand where he's coming from. You know, you don't want to die.
Yeah,
you don't know what that person
dude,
has, but that's your job.
Yeah,
you know, like
there are kids in there, man. Like there are fucking kids in there.
Kids in there dying, and you're supposed to protect them. It's, I mean,
and you
fuck.
have the ability to protect them, and you decide not to.
Yeah,
I just
wait by your car and wait for backup. I don't know. I mean, you never know how you're gonna react in a situation, especially like that. You know. I mean, I'm not trying to justify his thing, but also I'm not trying to say you did the right thing. You know. I mean, both. You can see both sides of it. Like, okay, he was scared for his own life, but yeah, that's your job. You know, to do it.
It's incredibly selfish.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunate situation, but I mean, you got a lot of things to look at with the Second Amendment. But I think like any issue you can bring up, like political wise, you're gonna have a bunch of things that are positives about it, and then there are negatives about it. You know, anything you can think of I mean, it's a huge divide we have nowadays.
Yeah, it's quite frightening, just the world we live in now, and I don't want to just put it on one person, but Trump really fucked up this country in quite a horrible way. He divided us. I don't think Republicans or conservatives are bad people.
I understand why a lot of people like Trump, and
but I don't think Trump's a good person. I apologize.
I mean, it's understandable. Like, we have the Capitol riots, Capitol insurgents, but a lot of those people are, you know, they're just standing around like, oh, hey, look, I'm in the Capitol, just taking video. Oh, look. Like, yeah, you shouldn't have been in the fucking Capitol, and you deserve what you're fucking getting. But then there were definitely people in there that wanted to fucking kill politicians, and you can kind of understand, because the whole system is working against people. So I try to look at this like a.
I'm sorry. So this week, I was thinking, so the South Park special came out.
With
the South
QAnon.
Park vaccination special. And I was thinking about the guy with the horns, and they had him in the episode, and oh my god, it's quite hilarious. I feel bad because it's a serious situation. I don't think this is all funny.
Was he just an idiot, or is that? I thought that was like the Q dude, you know, the QAnon dude, like the QAnon dude. And like he just got some steam rolling behind him. He's like, oh, I don't know what to do with this. Well, I guess I'm surging, storming the fucking Capitol. But you know, what I was saying is we have a system that's working actively against people, just the average everyday person, and it's working for, you know, billionaires, very wealthy people, you know, corporations instead of the actual people, and you know, generally I think that system's gonna fail, or it's gonna lead to a suppression. I kind of look at it like we're gonna be in the movie Elysium, where the rich people are gonna evacuate the planet into a halo ring, and you know, leave everyone else on the dying Earth, working for fucking scraps in slums. You know, like, oh god, that's how I think the world's gonna work out, but I'm not 100% sure. You know, maybe we have someone come across.
People just peace out.
They're like, fuck you guys, you're gonna make shit for us, and we fucking
fuck these.
We're gonna develop everything.
Problems.
Yeah,
we're gonna leave.
Yeah, I mean, it would be insane for that to happen. But recently, scientists are kind of trying to send like 6.2 million sperm samples into outer space and it's like controlled, like they want to put them on Mars or something like that, just to ensure humanity's survival. And that kind of gets me fearful. So if we get into a serious world war, we've never been in a war where we don't use the most powerful weapon we have, and right now that is nuclear weapons. And we so you haven't listened to Dan Carlin, his podcast, phenomenal. If you need to listen to a history podcast, it's Dan Carlin's. I think it's like $70 for every single episode, and he has 4-hour, 5, 6-hour episodes, and it's just so I can't.
In depth.
Yeah, and tight with just every history fact and just everyone's different opinions, because you can't really, with history, you can't, you have a lot of documented things, but then you have like a personal opinion on the documented. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, but he goes into depth with everything. But he was saying that we have a gun pointed at us at all times, that we have nuclear weapons that we're just planning on not using. Like, why do we like, that's gonna end the fucking world. That's gonna end humanity as we know it. If someone shoots one off, I mean, it's at least
it's game over.
At least a fallout.
Okay, let's say hypothetically, and this is a horrible hypothetical, but it's entirely possible.
I mean, I love speaking hypotheticals. Let's go, Paul.
North Korea is like, Kim Jong-un's like, well, he gets criticized by someone in the United States. Luckily, we don't have a president who calls him a little rocket man. And
they were best buds though. They were buds.
Yeah,
they were chilling. They were chilling, getting their dicks sucked.
Little rocket man.
Dude, they were getting their dicks sucked.
That was the most terrifying thing in the world. Think about that.
Yeah, we were kind of.
We had our president antagonizing a person with nuclear capability who is mentally unstable. He is mentally unstable. As a mentally unstable person, I know a mentally unstable person when I see them, and he was mentally unstable, and still is mentally unstable.
A lot of people like Trump because of that, because he was a stern. He's like, I'm not gonna take your fucking bullshit, I'm like, yeah, there's some stupidity in it. There's also some sternness in it, a lot of.
Yeah, you can be stern without being a fucking idiot.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a fine line. But yeah, just that whole situation, and then the interview coming out with Seth Rogen and James Franco.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just putting fucking cherries on top of this fucking nuclear situation. We're like,
he releases
one, but they would only have one nuke. I mean,
yes.
they only have one nuke, and I mean, we do have defenses against that. I'd be more concerned.
We have never tested Reagan's space program. We have never tested whether that works.
Yeah, I mean,
that's never been live bullets fucking flying at us.
I mean, we're gonna have to see when it comes. But I'd be more concerned with the hypothetical.
Was a genius. Reagan was a straight up genius. He ended the Cold War by really terrifying the Soviets and essentially just
he also
hey, I'll do what you're incapable of doing or what you're afraid of doing. I'll do it. I'm a crazy motherfucker, and that. In that way, that is how being like stern is good. The way that Trump did it over Twitter, like a fucking 15-year-old, is not good. It's not good. I mean, I understand using your platform and getting out to your loyal.
I mean, fans of Trump were even criticizing him for using Twitter just the way he did, But he did want to get his shit out there.
Ban, son.
But what I was saying is I'd be more concerned with like a China or Russia situation, of starting a war with them, because they have nuclear capabilities and they're able to shoot multiple nukes.
I mean, China seems
multiple.
Like the more.
Yeah, it's more egregious, and I mean, they literally it's the Holocaust.
Much bigger threat to the United States.
It's the Holocaust 2.0. It's the Holocaust 2.0. And then they're also a bigger threat to freedom. It's I mean, Chinese citizens don't really have. They have their own Google. Like you're only getting fed information by the Chinese government. Yeah. You see the whole Hong Kong thing, like happened with the NBA, because you understand the whole situation.
Yeah.
And the fucking NBA just cucked to fucking China. They're just like, oh, we don't know what the fuck. We don't know what Hong Kong is. And then you have fucking, you can't even say Taiwan exists. That it's just China. You're like, no, Taiwan's a country. And I mean,
the Dalai Lama exists.
Yeah, you're like, it's like, and I think the Secretary of State just referred to Taiwan by their name, Taiwan. and that might upset China.
It's definitely gonna upset Winnie the Pooh.
But yeah, it's a great meme. It's a great meme.
He's totally Winnie the Pooh.
But it's really fucked up what they're doing.
It's
and
not even like it's a fact. It's a well-known fact.
Yeah.
That he's Winnie the Pooh, just an evil.
But
diabolical Winnie the Pooh.
But what I was saying is I'm not 100% sure. I don't believe China has the right to own firearms. Chinese citizens. Yeah. And, it's just leading to more government control where they can just do as they please. And
that was like, what?
It's
5 months of straight protest? Yeah. 5 months.
And you see Hong Kong, and I don't know what exactly is happening. I know there's a vote for democracy, but I wasn't 100% sure on the whole context. I didn't read into it at all. I don't know shit about fuck, but 7.2, like it was like 80% of their population was fucking protesting. You're like, okay, like they want freedom.
Want systemic change.
Yeah, and like, are they gonna get it? Probably not. This is you have China's control, over shit. They don't have the means to stand up against the Chinese government.
Tyranny.
Yeah, exactly. And government tyranny is the reason why we have firearms, baby. Yeah. I'm sorry if you don't agree with that.
I completely understand if you're wary of firearms. I completely understand. Firearms are a terrifying thing. They are a terrifying thing, and it's like.
I think if you're mentally stable, you probably should own firearms. It's very nice for self-defense. Mentally stable, yeah. Someone breaks in your house. If they're physically more capable than you are, it's definitely nice to have a gun on your side. And if they have a weapon, you don't want to bring a fist or a knife to a gunfight there, baby. Baby.
The nice thing about a situation that happens in your own house. Not that it's ever nice to have someone break into your house and be frightened like that. Is you have the element of knowing where your things are.
Yeah.
So I would suggest if you ever find yourself in a situation, or like if you have multiple weapons, put them in places that obviously children can't get them, but that you can get them, and you know where they are, and you can.
Patrick and Paul Security Service. We're here to help you out when it comes to breaking in.
I'm not. I'm
just fucking. That's all I was thinking. That was all I was thinking about when you're trying to give people advice about where to put guns.
I'm just saying that, like, okay, a gun placed under the sink or like taped under the sink.
Yep, under the sink. Paul, if you had what happens if your sink is right next to your front door where they're breaking into? Just keep a gun where you think you'd be most by it. That's my professional security advice. I have 8 years in the CIA, 22 years in the FBI.
Some innocuous places. I've
been undercover. I'm a secret double agent. Listen to me. I know what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying there's some fucked up people.
The COVID bill just passed. It just got signed into law the other day.
79% of people approve of it, and 78% of people approve of it, and 59% of Republicans, which means 6 of every 10 Republicans approve this bill, and no Republican legislators voted to pass it. And they're subsequently trying to take credit for its passing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can understand why Republicans come from. Is destabilizing the dollar.
Yes, but in a time of crisis.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that don't. Like, do we exactly need $1,400? No. Can we survive without $1,400? Yes. But
some people survive without
$1,400. There are some people out there that need $1,400 right now, and it's too hard to differentiate in a speedy time of who actually needs it, who actually doesn't need it, and it's fucked up. But I want to more touch on what didn't pass or wouldn't go through in the bill, which is the $15 minimum wage. The minimum wage is always a hot topic because a lot of people support it and a lot of people don't. I do not support, but listen. Stop. No, I'm just joking. All right. So the problem I see with raising minimum wage it's not that people need the fucking money and people need a percentage of the money, but the problem is corporations are going to raise the prices of the food, and I mean it might not be by a lot, but generally
the price of the supplies, and
it's gonna generally lead to inflation, and it's gonna lead to
it's gonna be
it's just but it's getting down to the root of it. It should come out of wages, you know. It should be a higher percent of wages that corporations pay to their employees compared to what they're doing right now.
But our tax code is so fucked up right now that
and it's just
corporations,
it's just passing something.
Corporations are not paying a cent in federal income tax.
Yes, and it's fucked up. It's so fucked. I mean, you have billionaires like paying like, I mean, a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what they should
funnel their profits through offshore accounts. And
it's so messed up. Honestly, I mean, I think a lot of people, I think more people have been talking about this. It's less about a left versus a right in this country. It's more about a rich versus a poor.
Yeah.
We have a vanishing middle class. It's just fucked.
You know, the thing that built this country into what it is, this powerhouse that we currently are holding. It's like we're in a 747, and it was once a crop duster, but the middle class built it into a 747, and the rich people are like, oh, this is our 747.
Boom.
This is ours.
And then they start taking all the pieces and turn it back to a shitty crop duster. That shitty. Not even the crop duster they started with. I mean, it is really fucked up. You know, rich people are just making more money. Poor people are just getting poorer. That's why I think Elysium's gonna happen, Doc. We're gonna have to have Matt Damon fucking download some shit into his exosuit and then goddamn blast that shit so everyone can get fucking healthcare for free. It's so fucked. But I don't know, dude. Sorry, I was just taking time here. Okay, so I didn't know what time was. I wanted to get a little good sense here.
What time is it?
It's game time, Paul. Oh, we're about like 40, 45 through, you know.
Okay.
But it is frightening stuff. I want to get to a.
Again, we're very sorry. This is our first time.
We don't know what the fuck we're doing.
It's quite frightening.
I mean, like if we weren't gonna put this on YouTube, I'll pull my dick out and just like whip it around like a helicopter. It's not impressive at all. You know?
I will walk.
It's just I guess it's entertaining. Yeah. I mean, Paul.
For whom?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe just entertaining. Maybe you gotta try everything, Paul. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Stop, Paul. Stop.
You're the guy who says I'm gonna whip my dick out and just try to entertain.
I mean,
people.
I don't know. I think there's two types of men in this world: men who want to whip their dicks out and men who don't. And I think I'm a man who does. Not in like a bad situation, more of like oh hey, that's my penis.
I'd like to keep my dick in the secure spot.
Not like I'm like a predator. Maybe I guess that's predator-like instincts. I don't know. Maybe I am a one of those not peep toms. One of those dudes with the coats. And they're like, that's my penis. I don't know. I don't feel like that, but
like Michael Scott.
I mean, if my friends are acting crazy, I'll whip my dick out and be like, that's my penis.
Yeah.
It is pretty. Mike was like, I've never seen a shrimp before. You know what shrimp looks like? It's like, yeah, I don't know. I try to do it just in funny situations, but I think there are people that really have a problem. You know what's weird? Fucking rub and tugs. Like how? Okay, so you go to massage, like there's a lot of Thai massage places on my way home from work, and people go to them, and I guarantee some of them are getting fucking jerked off, and I mean they're getting jerked off by like 50, 60-year-old women, and you're like, how is that? There's a weird no. I think there's this weird thing where they have a disconnect where it's just about the feeling, and I'm like, it's weird how different humans are. You know, it's like how biologically different we are, and the whole mental makeup. You know, like why am I fucking stupid? And then Stephen Hawking is fucking intelligent as shit. Is that just the way he was raised? Is that just neurological? Like his synapses fire like crazy.
No, he reads books like insanely.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
Well,
books.
do you think like if I
insane amount of books,
because
the fear is based on the knowledge he accumulated over all these years.
So the developmental years, the highly influential developmental years are from like 2 to like 5 or something like that. I've heard like that's where you pick up a lot of shit. And you know, fuck. I mean, Jen always told me like you have dad's humor, and like our father passed away when we were 7 years old. You know, so I mean, like we generally like have memories, but it's not anything where we can like, you know, bring up like, oh, you remember that one time when we were talking about this? Like, I mean, imagine having a conversation with a 7-year-old. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's like they're fucking drunk, you know. Yeah. And but I mean, he definitely my finger, our fucking nephew. He got he got the lightest bitchiest ass scratch I've ever seen in my life.
And we have 2 cats. Well, yeah, Taco. I call him Talkman Flex, Little Tox. I also call him Taco Supreme. Yeah, and that's it. We have Luna, who did this to him. I call her Little Lady and Looney Tunes. But, like, she's such a little cat, and I keep telling him not to pick her up, because she doesn't like that.
She ain't fucking with the getting picked up, dog.
Especially by a kid who can't, like, hold her properly. And so she scratched his finger, and... The
lightest, most invisible scratch you've ever seen in your fucking life, and
he just freaks out. And I'm like in my room at this point, playing like Batman. I'm just kind of, I got to the point where I put them on the bus like pretty much every day, and I was just like I'm like done, you know, just sitting here watching them, making sure they're good. I'm like I'm gonna go into my room and do some fun stuff, like play video games. I was playing Batman Arkham Asylum at that point, and all I hear is nothing.
This motherfucker woke me up out of dead sleep before I had to go to work, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I come out, and he's like, I need a banana. I was like, what is this kid saying, dude? Look at his fingers, the lightest scratch on it. He's like, I was like, dude, what are you doing? It's like, I don't know. There are many times where, you know, little 7-year-old.
So yeah, 7-year-olds don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. I mean, this kid's crazy as fuck. He stuffed a bunch of toilet paper in the toilet after he shit once, and he flushed, and it was overflowing. And I luckily just opened up the door. I don't know why, but I opened up the door. I just see the toilet overflowing, and he's holding a plunger the size of him, and he's trying to plunge it. He doesn't say a goddamn word, doesn't even scream. I'm like, what are you doing, kid? He's like, I don't know what's happening. I was like, dude, you gotta get out of here, dude. You got this. As you have like 6 gallons of water on the floor. I'm like, oh my God, you didn't even scream, dude. Like, oh, fuck. Oh, it's great. I mean, kids are fucking insane. But yeah, most developmental years are those younger years. And I mean, I've definitely picked up some traits from our father. And, you know, I mean, you definitely have memories, but nothing like, you know, being around someone for like 20 years, you know? It's very interesting. But like, if you think about if you're educating a kid that young, like highly educating them, you know, like I mean, who's that fucking? I don't know the fucking guy. He has an IQ of like fucking 240. It's fucking Chinese guy. He was doing complex fucking trigonometry at fucking 4 years old. 4 years old, Paul. He's doing trigs.
Yeah.
You're like, what, dude? I didn't even know my name at 4 years old, dude. I didn't even know how to take a shit.
Yeah, I don't think I was conscious. Like I don't think I have any memories of when I was 4 years old.
It's fucking insane. And the craziest thing about people like that is like they're guaranteed a great life. Listen, they're the only people that are guaranteed a great life because they're so fucking smart. And I mean, they could probably fuck it up with drugs, you know, and be like, I'll get into heroin. But then you have like fucking Dr. Hart, this fucking guy, he's snorting heroin. And he's like, It's not bad. I have my tenure. I teach at a university, and
snorting heroin.
Snorting fucking heroin, snorting cocaine. He's doing every fucking drug. He's like, yeah, I just test it. He tests it. He uses it recreationally in a decent way.
Oh, that's lovely.
But I mean, there are people that can't handle this shit, and they're like, I gotta get as much heroin in me as possible. You're like, oh, and those are the people that OD. But heroin is apparently like a pure form of heroin is the most safe drug. You can't like, there's no ramifications of using heroin like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's no physical ramifications. It's not affecting any part of your body.
It's just mentally
possibly mentally, but yeah, physically, nothing. I mean, you're gonna
like
if you're shooting.
Behind it is not.
And the only way you really die is ODing.
Yeah.
You know, it's insane, dude. I mean, cigarettes do more damage, and I heard cigarettes are harder to quit just because it's more socially acceptable to smoke a cigarette. God, I wish. Like, there's nothing I'd want to do more than smoke a fucking cigarette. I just fucking chain smoke.
Yeah.
That'd be my super tier power. It'd be like, you can smoke as many cigarettes as you possibly want and not have any ramifications from it. Oh, God, I'd be chain smoking, son. There's nothing better than the first cigarette of a day. You know, you get a little buzz going on. I know you never experienced it. But also, after a fucking large meal.
If you do smoke cigarettes and also weed, you can try this thing called a mook.
I think most people know what a mook is, but you mix some tobacco, some weed, you snap a bowl, like a little small bowl, just snap it. You get a fucking head rush.
High initially.
Yeah, if you're smoking,
full body high of weed.
I mean, yeah,
Fantastic.
you just can't do it too often because you do get a tolerance built up to tobacco. I mean, even with smoking cigarettes, I ripped some fucking bong bowls full of tobacco, and I got fucking a head rush like a motherfucker. I feel like you were high for like 2 minutes, but that was when I was on probation.
Yeah.
And, I allegedly was drinking on probation a lot as a 20-year-old.
I actually never committed a crime, which is pretty awesome.
I mean, let's be realistic, Paul. Paul smoked weed when it wasn't legal in the state of Michigan.
You have no proof of that.
So he thinks.
You have no proof.
I don't have any proof, but I have eyewitnesses, and we're all going to testify. You're going to jail, buddy. You're going under the prison bed.
The statute of limitations, I imagine, has passed.
No, you're going to jail, bud. It's insane, though. But yeah, I mean. I was talking to one of our friends the other day, and I was talking about I took it. So once I got off probation, we had a 6-month probation, but it was more like 8 months sober, you know, off of weed at least. But I was drinking the whole fucking time, getting hammered, which was great, and also it was just mostly great. It was fucking phenomenal. It was a great time. I love that. It's just I'd never experienced a hangover actually during that time. It's fucking insane. We're drinking like 20, 30 beers a night.
To be fair, we were like 20.
Yeah. But fuck, man. You drink 6 beers now. I'm fucked.
Yeah. I think if I had to, I'd be...
Paul hasn't drank since 2018.
Well, technically, it was the start of 2020. I had 2 sips of champagne.
Oh.
Yeah, technically.
Ooh. Oh, he's stepping up big time there, bud.
Technically.
But
before that, it was 2018.
Yeah, we had our French bachelor party. He had margaritas for the first time that I made.
I'm pretty sure I was wearing this. I don't know.
Yeah, he was so fucked up. But so I think he literally had 2 cups, 2 like red Solo cups full. So I loaded him up with tequila on the first 2, and I thought.
Hate margaritas.
And like,
they are the worst.
they taste so good.
It has been nearly.
He slammed the cups.
3 years.
Slammed the cups.
Still taste it.
Yeah. Okay. So he slams the fucking cups. He gets drunk as shit. Yeah. We have a bunch of people in this fucking room. A lot of them leave, go down casino. We're the fucking MGM Grand Detroit. And Paul, there's a few of us in the room at this point, we're all huddled up in a group. Paul is just sitting at the edge of a bed on a bench.
Like, those couches that you have at the end of your bed? So he's your shoes on and stuff?
He's sitting at the edge of one, and we're all talking and shit like that. And then I just hear a little thud, nothing too crazy. Turn around, Paul's on the fucking ground, like on his back, fucking knocked out. It looked like he just fucking did heroin, you know? That's how fucked up he looked.
Don't remember.
Look at his head, his fucking, he cracked his head open, he was bleeding, and he's dead on the floor. We're like, Paul, wake up, wake up. And he's like, ah. So we have to drag him in the fucking shower. We're fucking sticking fingers down his throat to make him throw up to get some alcohol out of his system. And he fucking... Eventually, we just had him in the shower for like fucking 2 hours. He's just sitting there, just letting the hot wire beat on him. I mean, I think a lot. I want to say about 90% of the people that were in that hotel room threw up in that hotel room. Yeah. And by the time I got back there at 4 o'clock in the morning, the hotel room was probably 92 degrees inside that room. It was definitely 92 degrees inside that room. The air conditioning didn't do shit. This is the MGM Grand. You thought this was going to be some fucking nice shit? A $500 fucking room? Yeah. It wasn't shit, dude. It was fucking bullshit for the fucking AC. It was 500 fucking degrees in that room. And then the whole room smelled like fucking vomit. You go in the bathroom, it's like fucking ground zero of the fucking nuke. You're fucked. You're fucked. Oh, it was so fucked. And then by that time, Paul's fucking up and jipper. And I was like, okay, well.
I was up and jipper.
He's good to go. He's good to go.
I was trying to eat, but I was like, I threw up like at least.
Yeah, Paul.
At least a dozen times.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. We had the actual bachelor, I guess we would say. Yeah, I don't know. The soon to be groom, you know. He has a tendency to when he mixes weed with alcohol, he gets really fucked up. Really fucked up. Like he was perfect.
I was already fucked up.
Yeah, Paul was already fucked up. We went to the parking lot to go smoke, and he
never left the room. By the way, never left the room.
Yeah, he got to the room, never left it until fucking we left in the early morning. But our friend, he goes out to the parking lot, completely fine. He was definitely hammered, but you know, good to fucking do everything. Completely competent. If he needed to talk to someone, you know, he could definitely talk to someone. He fucking smokes a little bit of weed. We get a fucking phone call. You have to come down to the parking lot right now. Brian's fucked up. We go down to the parking lot. This guy is hugging one of the fucking public trash cans in the fucking parking lot, and he's covered in fucking grime, dirt, whatever from the fucking trash can, hugging it, just leaning on it, putting his whole body weight. People are driving by us like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And we're like, dude, what the fuck, Brian? We have one of our friends. He doesn't give a. He tells it like it is. He's like, Brian, you look fucking. I can't even say it. He's like, Brian, you look fucking pathetic right now. Get up, you fucking pussy. And we're like, dude, Jordan, he's so fucked up. And so we're like, Brian, yeah. we're like, Brian, you have to stand up. We have to get you back to the hotel room so we can like get you a nice shower. And so he's like, I can't walk. He's like, you're gonna have to go get a wheelchair. And I'm like, where the fuck are we supposed to get a wheelchair, dude? What the fuck? So he sends his brother. His brother comes back like 20 minutes later. We're all just standing around, people just passing, like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? We throw him in the wheelchair. We have to drag him back to the fucking hotel room. We're going through a casino. Everyone's looking at us when we're going through this fucking casino like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Is he on fucking heroin? We get into the fucking hotel. Fucking past 2 cops are they're like, God damn, this guy's fucked up. So we eventually get him up to the room, and then first thing he does is he hugs the toilet. This guy is the most infamous fucking toilet hugger I've ever seen in my life. He gets way too fucked up, and he just hugs the toilet. It's like the first time we drank, like he was just pissed drunk. He was just pissed drunk by our toilet, and I had to stiff arm him out of the way so I could fucking throw up, so I didn't throw up all over his fucking face. I love that guy to death, but fuck.
He was 17, and he drank all this Kahlua that my mom had.
Yeah, we had like a mixture of shit, but I think we finished off with Kahlua, and we were all hammered.
He pounded down, and he was standing up, and he literally just fell flat.
Yeah, no, I think he was taking a shot, so he was like, and then with the momentum of the shot, he just instantly falls back straight down, and then he was down on the ground the rest of the night. We're like, he's down and out, like tap him out. He's gone for like fucking 6 hours. He didn't stand up, you know, he wasn't able to move, and he eventually was able to crawl to our fucking toilet. You know, it probably took him 2 hours to crawl to our toilet, and then he just threw up like 16,000 times.
We had to like roll him. We had footage of it, but we.
It was like an iPod Nano that you're just watching.
Yeah, I recorded you guys. You were being idiots. It was quite funny, and also sad. But like, yeah, apparently his brother came in to take a piss and just pissed by his face.
Yeah, he had the stiff on his fucking, because he's like imagine this is a fucking toilet bowl, you know? He's just fucking on the fucking toilet, fucking seat, just kind of puking up every little once in a while, you know, and everyone had to fucking use the fucking bathroom. We just had to fucking get him out of the way.
I need to breathe.
But I mean, yeah, it's insane. But the whole thing that started the story was me taking a almost half a gram dab after the 8 months of probation.
If you guys don't know what a dab is,
it's wax. It's concentrated. I think majority of people know what it is.
Yeah,
no?
maybe not though. Maybe not.
But so I smoke a bunch of weed because we've been preparing for this. I call in at 3 o'clock in the morning to go see if I have to go piss, you know, and they call colors and shit like that.
See, we can explain why he got in trouble. Some other time.
Yeah, we'll explain. We'll explain my mischievous. I don't even know that's a word. That's a word. Don't cancel me, Paul. That's a word, Paul. No, we'll explain. We'll explain it at a time. But anyway, I smoke a bunch of weed. We were preparing for this. 3 o'clock in the morning. We're all fucking pumped up. Like, fuck yeah, I'm the last person that's like.
We packed 5 pieces, and there were 6 of us smoking, and we were just passing
around. So you had 1 second of just not smoking anything, and then just boom, boom, boom.
Smoking.
I sat down and
7 months sober at this point.
8 months.
8 months.
8 months. I sat down and then the weed hit me and I was like, oh my God, I'm the highest I've ever been in my life. And I was so happy. I was like, this is chilling. This is chilling. But my 20-year-old fucking cocky self was saying I would not have a problem with smoking wax, and I told everyone this. And you know, it was like oh, Patrick's not gonna go through with it. I knew Patrick was fucking bullshit.
He kept writing like, I'm gonna smoke this.
I'm gonna smoke this. Point four dab. Point four.
Smoke this.
Point four.
Completely fine.
So I fucking, you know, like regrettably, I just was like, fired up, and you know, so I remember specific part.
No, look on his face after he realized.
Yeah, it was
priceless. It was fucking.
I mean, it was complete joy to like. What the fuck did I even say? Like, cause you always shelf things. You have a different perspective on life when you smoke, and at that point I was like, oh, I fucked up by saying that, you know. But instead of just eating my words, I took it to the chin like a fucking champ, dog. Took the fucking .4 dab. Took it all. Didn't cough. Did not cough. There was definitely a little tingle there was a tingle in my lungs. I didn't even cough that much. A little tingle in my lungs. All right, so I go to set down, and then boom. I mean, I've never had something hit me so hard. This is what I imagine heroin feels like. I've never done heroin, but it's like I've taken shrooms, acid. I don't know what else. I've taken some stuff, but I've never been this fucked up in my life. I've taken some stuff. I don't know what else I've taken, but there's definitely some stuff in there. But yeah, I've never been this fucked up in my life. I get hit with just the straight downs of just like a melting, and I felt melting, and then I couldn't talk, and I didn't have muscle control.
He had a Powerade, and he had it in his hands like this, and you'd think he'd be able to bring it up to his.
I had to get hydrated, you know. That was the only help I had.
He takes the Powerade and just immediately goes from here to right above his head. He doesn't.
I had to slam it. Okay. So the thing is, I didn't have muscle control. Like I didn't have the ability. Like I was so weakened at that state. I needed the momentum of, and slamming this fucking Powerade to get to my mouth. But you know, I passed out for a while, fucked up.
Yeah, we kind of thought he was dead.
Yeah, they thought I was gonna die, and they needed to get that shit out of my mind. They were like, "Oh, Patrick," and they're like, "He's gonna throw up," and I was like, "I wasn't gonna throw up until he started saying something. Shut the fuck up!" And I couldn't express that, you know, because I was so fucked up. But I ended up we got me into we had a pop-up fucking trailer. We put me in there for the night, and my two friends slept there until 8 in the morning. So this is less than 5 hours later. I had to wake up and go to work. All right, so I mean, listen, muscle memory is a son of a bitch because, dude, I woke up, I got my work clothes on, I drove on the expressway to pick up my coworker, and I woke up at the light near us because it turned red, and that light never turned red near I was working at Little Sleevers at the time. That light turned red, and it never turns red. It literally was always a flashing yellow, and especially on, I think it was a Saturday. I'm not 100% sure what day it was. I think, but it literally was never.
At least I worked that day. I was working Monday through Friday.
It was a summer day. Listen, that light was always a flashing yellow. It turned red. I woke up at that point, and I was like, oh, I fucked up. I winged it through probably 2 hours of the day, and later to be found out, like a few years later, that the store owner at that time had video cameras, and those video cameras had audio, and so I was telling Nick the whole time, I'm so fucking high right now. I'm so fucking high right now. And I was just working, you know, just fucking muttering through whatever I needed to fucking do. And then I was just preparing to go to the bank, you know, because I knew Nick would drive to the bank, go in, do the deposits, and I could sleep for fucking 10 minutes, maybe. And from that point until my boss came in, I don't remember anything. And I was like, I'm sick. I need to go home. And when my boss came in, he's like, okay. And he just sent me home and had another worker come in. And I fell asleep and woke up at like 10 at night. And I was perfectly fine. Great story. Happy story. Phenomenal. But, yeah, I definitely got into some antics in my life. But it's pretty fucked up.
We can tell you about a trip to Krispy Kreme. And it took a pretty scary turn, but we'll save that for another day. Yeah, I think we should close there.
Yeah, we're at an hour and 11 minutes, Paul. You know, I think that's a pretty solid. You know, because we're professionals at this. Listen, we're making billions of dollars. Yes. I got 3 Rolexes on my penis right now. No, we're definitely not professionals. We suck at this. Yes. But we're doing the best we can. I think we're doing pretty well. You know.
I didn't take my shirt off. Okay.
Fuck.
I was once really.
It is getting hot in here, dude. It is getting really hot in here.
I was at my friend's house. And I was just rubbing my stomach, and I like didn't realize I was rubbing my stomach, but I was so high that I was like, and like I'm an extremely hairy person, and it was super weird in retrospect.
Everyone does weird shit when they're high. Like when they're really high and just lost in the moment. You're like, you can do some weird shit, dude. Yeah. Like, you know, putting your penis in a cantaloupe or something like that. Something like that.
But, I mean, I think this went pretty well, considering.
Yeah, it went very nice. All right, I'm sweating. I got a little sweat stain right there, Paul.
Yeah, nice.
It's getting hot in here, bitch.
Yeah,
it's getting hot.
It's pretty hot.
Whatever. I think we're going to wrap this shit up. Thank you for motherfucking listening, watching. We'll have also links to every fucking social media thing we're gonna put down and fucking below. I'm gonna create it. We'll create a fucking email account so you can fucking email us. You can tell us some crazy shit. We're gonna create some segments. We got a lot planned out for the show. And we got a lot of planning still to do, you know. We're still.
We have to just wing this.
Yeah, we're just winging it, but I think we're gonna settle in and eventually find, you know,
our groove, our emotion in the ocean.
Yeah, you know.
I keep closing my eyes and the light just kind of circulars.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Nice light. Well, thank you for joining. I love you guys. Potatoes.